Hello everyone, how you doing? And welcome back to Skye and Evan in the morning. And today we're gonna be talking about Singing in the Rain. Yes, the Singing in the Rain from 1952, I think. And man, it's a good movie, isn't it, Evan?
Yes, it is. It's so funny. I said it when I recommended it. It's just an all-time classic. It's one of those you gotta watch it. But I I always find it funny when you sit down and you watch a movie that everyone says is like one of the greatest of all time, and you're just like, yeah, pretty much. It's
Yeah,
like that was
it's hard to disagree with
just
this
rock
one.
solid.
Yeah. Well, the thing I thought was like, and I've thought of this with so many of these classic movies that you've recommended. But like, this movie does not seem like it was made in 1952. It feels very modern, like the story and I think the most 1952 thing it has is that the ending and everything is like quite happy and upbeat and hopeful. Um, Whereas like 'cause in my mind I kept comparing this movie to Babylon because like yeah, Damien
Yeah, well,
Chazelle clearly his entire filmography is just based on Singing in the Rain.
I I was laughing my head off with that one because it's like you gotta understand. I did not even know about that. I remember hearing about Babylon. I'm like, oh, the movie's about the transition from silent film to soundies. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's
And
I
then I
haven't the
watched Singing in the Rain
remotest.
and I'm like, oh. But
Yeah, and
that's kind of the
the
thing as well, because like in Babylon, they explore the fact that Margot Robbie wouldn't like have much more of a place because her voice was whiny and annoying, and I think they do that more interestingly than here, because they
yeah,
kind of just make her be like a villain in this, um, which I thought was a little bit strange, but I mean it's
yeah,
fine for
and
the
the
movie,
ending.
but it feels like a lot of like of the time. That's when it feels of its time, but most of the movie feels very
Yeah,
modern.
yeah, that's one of those like that's a classic thing instead of old Hollywood too. Is like relationships where it's like, oh, I just can't stand her. I'm like, we don't get along. It's and like finding someone else that like sweeps you off your feet. And
Yeah.
I that was another shot, by the way, that was super Chazelle-esque, is the scene with the ladder. That was
Mm.
incredible. And the white dress as well. Like
The white dress
the
seems so
just
beautiful, like just outright, like the choreography, the everything they did with that dress that
yeah.
was fucking huge and wrapping
I
around
I was
main character.
stunned that they got it to work as well as they did because the takes were so long, and I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, that how did they choreograph it? I'm like, I don't know, but that just like surrealist sunset, just like too picturesque, a little too purple for like reality. It's just it's super La La Land-esque, and yeah,
yeah,
you can tell just how much Damien Chazelle's been inspired, and it's you can see that a lot of it comes from this movie.
yeah, quite a lot of it. I mean, I like it. I love La La Land. I love Babylon, so I'm okay with that. I know you're not a fan of Babylon, but we'll change that someday.
We'll definitely talk about that movie at some point. It's we gotta.
Yeah, I am doing a rewatch, but well. I don't really know how to talk about this movie. It's one of those. It's like, yeah, it kind of speaks for itself. But the
Well, I suppose we can go through like what the general plotting is, because
mhm.
again, like you know, if you haven't seen this movie, you know, we're gonna spoil the entirety of Singing in the Rain, but it's like just an introduction with movie stars that like starts everything off. Something amazing. All the that set with where it's just Dawn like singing for a little bit, and then they just add all of those neon signs in. It's so funny.
Mm,
Like another movie that was clearly inspired by this that we knew was Joker Folie à Deux,
yeah,
with like its sets and like the use of rain. But it's like I I love bold movies that just go for it with the sets, with the costumes, with everything, and it's great to see in a movie like this.
yeah. And I mean the it's because like you said, like the shot with the neon and everything. Like for the time, that shot would have been like super hard to pull off. Nowadays, you just do that with CGI. It's like, man, that's like a really nice, well done shot. Like, and it's showing like the point that they want to make. And I mean, I love that entire beginning of him like him talking about his life as this super like, oh no, yeah, I've always been like famous and everything, and then you see his actual life was all, he's like always fighting to actually be a performer, and it was always hard. I was like, that's what I meant when I said this film feels modern, because it doesn't feel like it's just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it's a beautiful story about making it as making it as an actor, but more so it's just like, man, he struggled for a long time and he had to endure a lot of things to become an actor, and he just sells this story of himself being uh this, this
Well,
person who captivated everyone for his entire life, when that was not the truth. Like, I thought was really cool.
well, something else that like feels really modern to me is the central theme with this character, which is like, or at least something that he keeps repeating, the idea of like dignity. Because it's funny that he like talks about like how much that matters to him, and then you show like what his movies are like, and he and his partner are like hitting each other over the head with canes. It's like it's say what you will about that, if that's like slapstick comedy, if that's undignified, but then he like loses that sense of dignity once the soundies start because of his voice. And it's funny, this was a real thing apparently, like that hurt Charlie Chaplin's career because he had like a kind of a squeaky voice, and it's even real in a modern context with people like Ki Hu Kwan, like his voice is very high and like kind of sounds silly, and it's only been recently that he's kind of leaned into it. So it's a very real thing, like what the characters experience in this
Hmm.
movie and like the stories that they go through.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's so interesting as well because he said, like, the shows he did with his friend. Was it called Cosmo? I think, right?
I believe, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I
He's
mean,
great, by the
Cosmo
way.
is,
He
yeah, he's like one of the best parts of the movies. Cosmo, he's
did
so
not
good.
feel like a third wheel or just some like, yeah, he was like a part of the team. Like
Yeah,
it's the three of them in the opening shot, and they feel like they share kind of a main character role.
yeah, and it's always funny how he's always like nobody ever sees him because he's just the friend of the famous guy instead of being like famous himself. He's always fucked over, but he's always very upbeat. It's nice, but I think it's cool that he kind of like the stuff that he used to do to perform before he became like a famous actor, before he got like his shot with whatever her name was. I forgot the actress, the with the bad voice.
Let me look up the cat.
Yeah. But before then, that he was doing the shows with Cosmo, and at the end, like basically he kind of
Le-
just gets,
Lena, I think.
yeah, I think so. And in the end, he just kind of gets back to it, with like the dancing and singing that is like very part of how he became the star that he is now. Of like, try to, which is what they do with
Well,
that entire sequence that they want to add into the movie. The musical sequence of being like him making it to Broadway and being like, whoa, super naive and everything, and then you see him much older, and he sees the younger version of himself, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, like that sense of wonder of being an actor is still there, which felt really interesting. I get it. It's so La La Land.
yeah, and honestly, like what I was realizing when I was watching it, I'm like, this was made at the perfect time in 1952 because like technology had improved, like the sound quality was better, like color was more of the norm, and it's like made just like 30 years or so like ahead of where they are now, and like they could look back retrospectively at like what it was like, and I love that moment when they're like the film fails. They like everyone laughs. There's so many things that go wrong with the sound. I imagine it must have been a nightmare. Like the switch. They're a lot more animated with how it works in this movie than they are in Babylon. But then they just decide to put music to it. Like it's what they were doing before, essentially dance sequences with song, and they just sing as part of it. And I and that's the thing about the singing in the rain scene. He's like he didn't like people like laughing at him in his movie, and he's talking about dignity, and he just sings in the rain after like having confidence that he's going to turn the movie around, and
Yeah,
it adds it's a incredible scene with like incredible character backing it, and yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's just a very like honest movie. a lot of movies nowadays, I keep saying like they don't feel honest and earnest because I guess this like postmodern world of just like, oh, we need to be self-aware and
Well,
everything. Obviously Marvel made that super like mainstream to be like, well, that just happened.
well, and we're so ironic nowadays. That's what I always laugh at. Like I call it sincerity, and it's just one of those things. It's like, what do you mean movies aren't like sincere? I'm like, I mean, ca- I mean characters like aren't given like scene for scene. That's what I always laugh at with what is it, Far From Home, of like the fucking plane scene. It's like the entire movie is joke, 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 irony, action, action, and then he gets hit by a train, and then Happy talks to him, and that's like it. We get our
Mm,
one earnest scene. It's like, great job, guys, you did it. It's like, I movies used to be filled with scenes like that. They just didn't call as much attention to it, or it was like this, where like you tied it into a huge set piece or sequence, because that's the thing about musicals, the characters can't say the things they're saying, they have to sing it because they're so excited. That's why musicals are so cool.
yeah. I mean, yeah, just genuinely like one of the best uses of the musical like genre outright. It does so much with it, and I mean that entire sequence with him, like he says, "This is how the sequence is gonna go in the movie." That's how I think it'll go, and then it just goes into like a full on scene of him going to Broadway. It's like so over the top and with the fucking sets and everything. Like I love that so
Yeah, the
much. That was like probably my
the
favorite
use
scene in the movie.
it goes on and on and on, and the sets are insane. Like
Yeah.
the use of color, the green, the red, yellow, it just everything is so bright and animated, and there's like damn near no dialogue in it. Yeah, I was stunned at that sequence. And that was probably the scene that was like the most visually awe-inspiring, was the
Yeah.
white dress. That when I saw that, I was like, dude, sets don't get built like this nowadays. Like this
Sets
had
don't
to have
get
been a
built at all
set.
nowadays. Now it's just
No,
green screen.
everything. It's so sad. I'm like, and I know it's like, who cares about a wall? I'm like, yeah, and plenty of movies use CGI and it's all seamless, but it's like there's something to be said for back in the day when you couldn't fake it and you had to do this and like build all this and make this look the way that it did, because it's just something more real about it.
Bro, it's what we were talking about with the thing, right? It's a fucking amazing comparison, Singing in the Rain and the thing. But we talked about the original one and the 2011 one, and how it's just like like it just feels a lot more interesting and like awe-inspiring, I guess. When you watch the original one, you're like, man, they did all of this. Like the fucking scene with the stomach opening up and eating the guy's
Defibrillator,
hand.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's just
Yeah,
like,
I mean, well,
man,
there's
and to be fair, the new one did use quite a fair bit of puppets. It was just that the studio asked them to use CGI as well, and then it looked like shit. But the
well,
there's something more tangible about this stuff. Even if it's like you can tell that it's fake, it feels better when it's like puppets and everything. Which is why people say like it was a good thing that The Force Awakens did compared to the prequels. The prequels did everything CGI.
well, it's funny. It's one of the most common just compliments. If there's something that like most people agree on, it's like the sets look really good. They
Mm-hmm.
did listen to people that, like when they said there was too much CGI in the original one, and they tried to make the sets look more tangible, look more practical, and it's it can be appreciated. But it is the word tangible, and I there was a video that I saw that like brought another point to the table that I loved, and he basically said like it also tells a story. Like you ever like look into like how an effect is done or how something is done? It's the whole like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, did you know like that was actually like this and that? It's like
Oh yeah, when
there's
we
not
watched
as
Legion, I
much.
did that all the time. Like, oh, did you know they actually did this shot? It's so cool.
Exactly. It's what I always laugh at with like limited resources with films. When you have less to
Hmm.
work with, you have to get creative.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah.
nowadays
I always
CGI
think
can.
like limitations breed creativity. Um, so it's why there's a new Russo brothers film costs $320 million,
Mm.
and I'm just like, how much did that one movie cost? Imagine making
Yeah.
32 $10 million movies instead, but no, whatever.
Sorry, Singing in the Rain. We end up like going on a Hollywood,
Yeah, we're just like,
one
yeah, we
Hollywood.
hate modern Hollywood. Yeah, sorry.
But seriously, like this just is a old classic, and yeah, like movies are so expensive and CGI filled
Well, because the
nowadays, and
thing
it's
with
like,
this movie is that it feels so. Because, like, I always laugh when people say that, because I always think, like, I don't know if it's true. Because, like, most films well, all films are products of their time in one way or another. But there are some films that are just timeless, right? Like, this is a timeless film. It does not feel like it was made, what, 73 years ago. Just doesn't.
yeah. It's why like classics like that stand out, like something like His Girl Friday or like Citizen
Citizen
Kane. They're
Kane,
they're
yeah.
all time classics that are just you can watch them in a modern context, and they just that's the thing about timeless movies. They just defy the decade they were born. They defy the genre. It's like it's just something that I think can speak to everybody. And in this movie, I think what it is just the main character's drive to. I think part of it is like embracing the times and also being yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like the whole thing is changing from silent films to soundies, but they're good at singing and they just embrace what they're already good at and try to and love tied in there. It's a story that a lot of people can appreciate because we're all trying to do that and find love, right? So
Yeah.
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 I think we've covered most scenes, honestly, but and it's funny to just feel like at a loss for like what exactly to say, but it's one of those things you just got to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Soundtrack's amazing, and it's something that's all comes down to the experience. So
Yeah. This movie gave me an entirely new understanding of Damien Chazelle's filmography. And I think that's really valuable because I really like his movies, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is the movie you're obsessed with. Because, like, I'm obsessed with Legion, he's obsessed with this one, and I think that's beautiful, honestly. Um,
yeah, I'm gonna look back at La La Land and Babylon slightly differently,
yeah,
having seen this movie now. It'll be interesting.
yeah.
And like I said, there are countless people that have been inspired by Singing in the Rain. I'm sure there's
Oh, yeah.
videos that like show all the different like this is just like it. It's like damn.
Yeah, and it's just honestly, and the music is so good in this movie. And one thing that I really love as well is not just the choreography for dancing, but just like that scene where Cosmo was dancing and singing when earlier on in
Make
the
him
movie.
laugh. That
Yeah, that was
yeah.
so good, and he just kept like flailing about and everything. It was like really well choreographed, and he fucking breaks the wall of the set and everything, and it's all like done in these huge long takes that never cut away from it. I was like, man, this is so impressive.
Yeah. And it's all him. It's his completely dedicated musical number. It's funny. I'd listened. I hadn't listened to all the songs in this movie, but that was one that I'd listened to a bunch. I'd
Hmm.
listened to the Singing in the Rain, even though I hadn't seen the sequence in full. But yeah, it's a funny thing to say, but the music in this movie is genuinely great. There's
Yeah.
some really, really memorable, unforgettable like song and dance sequences, and like some of them surprise you, because everyone knows the iconic rain scene, but some earlier and later ones are stand out too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think the rain scene's probably the best song in the movie. I think there are better ones, but it's like it's really good already. It's just there's so much good in this movie that it's just like fascinating to watch.
Yeah, timeless classic for a reason,
Yeah,
and it's just it's so vivid and sincere and just impressive film.
yeah, and honestly, it just looks like a movie. You know what I mean? Like it just looks really good and vibrant, and they know how to use color and how the sets should look in the shot and everything. Like everything is done purposefully. Um, You know what I mean? Because like obviously, Wicked is a
Yeah.
musical that came out last year, and that looks like concrete. So
Well, and
it's
we're getting Thunderbolts. Like I honestly think Thunderbolts is like the most concrete we've ever seen. I'm like, this looks like cement. Why is it so gray and like we're gonna get Sentry in that movie, and I'm laughing my ass off. Like he's got this really distinct like yellow slash blue pattern, and like he's like Superman in the comics, but it's like they're gonna make him a third act thing, and it's like whatever, dude. I don't know. Yeah, but we need color grading again. There's a lot of reasons from what I understand why like post production like can make a movie look not great, but I do miss proper color grading. It's something that was something that I laughed at with Top Gun Maverick. I don't even think that movie has like particularly vivid like sets or anything like that, but it just something about it looks more real and tangible than
hmm.
most movies. There's something about like especially the scenes that take place like towards sunset, like at the bar.
Oh yeah.
There's just there's something there that looks real, that looks like Southern California. And I'm like, I'm biased because I live there, but God, I miss like quality color grading and people just using vibrant, bold colors rather than everything just looking quote unquote realistic.
Mm.
I'm like,
Well,
fuck that,
it's
dude.
that the conversation. Fuck, I forgot who said it. It was the director, but like he's lighting a scene, and the actor said like, "Oh, where's that light coming from?" But he just said the same place the music is coming from, and I think that's such a great quote because it's just like, well, yeah, it's all like, it's not real. You can, obviously make movies be more or less realistic, especially with the way they look. But you can have fun with like the music is the same way you can have fun with the color and just the visuals of the movie, because it doesn't really mean that like you need, oh, this light source has to come from that because of the angle of the, it's why I quite like Joker, for example, the first one. How that movie looks is like, it is not natural the way it looks, but it looks really good because it's done purposefully. The way damn, I forgot the name of the director of photography. He wasn't even nominated, but he talked
Oh,
about the way he lit the scenes because he's done he does it very purposefully, using like the blue lights to represent like Arthur's like state of mind and everything. It's like, there's a really good video of him analyzing his own cinematography on YouTube. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just like when things feel purposeful in movies, and like, I understand why you did that, and it feels like the right choice. So, you go.
yeah, and this movie goes for it. It's one of the bolder, more vivid movies I've seen.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Every time we talk about an older movie, we're just like, man, remember movies.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is that it, or do we have more to say?
I think that's kind of it. I think we covered it pretty well. So,
All right. Now I need to recommend a
which
movie.
would you recommend seeing?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
funny. Like I saw a person on Twitter posting like a letterbox review of Singing in the Rain. Like, oh yeah, like giving an 8 out of 10. Or just like, this is why I don't like number ratings, because it's like, imagine giving just like, it's weird because gave this movie a 9, but it's like, it's probably better than like Fall Guy, which I also gave a 9. I don't know, probably.
yeah, it's all arbitrary and
Yeah,
pointless. Like the one thing for me was the ending, where I was like with Lena and Lena's character in general. It's a little like you said. That's the one thing that does feel of the time.
yeah,
Pretty much everything else feels like utterly timeless. And I think you like. I think you actually are on point there. I think the reason why they did it that way was to give it a happy ending. And to their credit, I do love that. I do love that at the very end, he like gives it all to her. It's like, stop it, like stop her, like she's the star. Like it's it's a cool moment, but I will say like that was probably one of the weaker elements of the film. But
yeah,
it's like nothing as far as I'm concerned. I'm just like, it does not detract in the slightest because this is a masterpiece.
yeah. Yeah, it's just like, it's the type of movie where like, do you recommend it? It's like, well, of course. Like, it's it's not the type of movie that you should just be like, no, 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 you know, take it with a grain of salt or something. No, yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
7 out of 10.
yeah, that's yeah, no, it's just really good. And yeah, I assume you recommend it as
Well
well.
then. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Well then, what do you have on the chopping block?
Well, I think I'm gonna go with this one. All right. So, Evan. Um, you know, Sam Esmail. He wrote and directed Mr. Robot.
Ah, yes, indeed, he did.
So you're probably wondering what I'm talking about. So he made a movie that is in the universe of Mr. Robot, which is not a thing I like
Yeah.
about this movie. But I actually think it's quite a good movie, even though people didn't like it generally. Though it was like marketed for like not the correct audience, I feel. Anyway, the
Uh,
movie's called Leave the World Behind, the Netflix original, written and directed by Sam Esmail, starring a bunch of really good actors, fucking um, Mahershala Ali, Julia Roberts, like really, really good actors. And I think it's a really good movie, and I am due a rewatch, so we may as well talk about that. And I'm curious what you think because
yeah,
you've seen Mr. Robot.
yeah, it's funny you mentioned this when we were watching Mr. Robot, and the idea that this is like in the universe,
Yeah,
but
I'm not a fan of that. Once you watch the movie, you'll probably get why.
yeah, and I haven't spoiled it. I don't know like what the story is, but I'm interested. I'm curious to see like something else he's done. It's always funny when that happens, like someone that's just done TV or movies, like switching to one to the other. Like it's like yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, I think it's
all
quite
right,
good, but people have mixed opinions on it.
yeah, for sure. Well, I'll give it a chance. I always
Yeah.
do.
It's the kind of
Always try to
thing
be
I
better.
think it's the same as Noah Hawley with Lucy in the Sky Run. Just like you shouldn't make it like a movie
Yeah.
for like that. It shouldn't be marketed towards that audience. I'm the audience you're looking for. Like marketed towards this type of person instead of like marketing it more broadly. But I get Netflix isn't just gonna make a movie and not want people to watch it. But yeah,
Well, I mean, it's something that sucks about marketing because like marketing, the whole point of it is to like make it so as many people see it as possible. But
yeah,
like, there are certain things as niche movies that
yeah.
like can get mismarketed, and like people are like, what the hell? And it's like, don't blame the movie, blame the trailer. Like, but it's like, but the trailer got you to watch the movie. It's like, oh,
Mm,
just
yeah. Yeah, well, then yeah, leave the world behind. Um, we'll see what you think of it.
mm,
Be interesting discussion. All right, well, that's it, folks. We'll catch you all next week with Leave the World Behind, and you should go watch Singin' in the Rain. If you have seen it, and if you haven't seen it, just give it a watch or a rewatch. That's my take on today. And
absolutely.
yeah, see you next time, folks. Bye bye.
Bye bye.